Hey, it's Monday morning, everybody.
Whoa.
Hope you're having a great week, or at least, you're on your way to have a great week.
Starting great.
Starting great.
Start great, finish great.
And in the middle,
just keep being great.
let's be great. Last week, something I forgot to mention, Brian and I went to the Chiefs game.
Oh, yeah.
And
Still good, guys. Even though the Chiefs lost this past week, still good.
yes, we weren't at the game they lost.
Yeah. Oh, they would have won if we were there.
We would have done our part.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's kind of a new slogan this year with the NFL. You see a lot of coaches wearing hoodies. There's hats, and the phrase all revolves around, the campaign all revolves around this one phrase, and it's intercept cancer. So you kind of get it, right? It's like, okay, they're taking a
great
stand.
idea. Yeah.
They're probably donating some money to that cancer research.
Yeah. Raising cancer awareness.
But what a lazy, idiotic phrase to try and raise money for cancer.
Intercept cancer. So if you don't know what interception means, marketing people, interception's when one person has the ball and they throw it and another person takes the ball and now has possession of the ball.
Now you have it.
I intercepted the cancer from you and now I'm running with it.
What this is, now that I'm thinking about it.
And a touchdown is not what you want to get when you have cancer.
This is like a Green Mile situation. Michael Clark Duncan, where he takes the sickness out of you and he takes it on himself.
Yeah.
That's what he wants. He would intercept your cancer.
Michael Clark Duncan intercept cancer.
Yeah.
Survivor.
And
advocate.
He's dead now.
Well, there you go.
So
So what should it be called instead?
punt cancer.
Punt cancer into the coffin corner.
I think a really long phrase is good. Like
PCITCC.
Hold cancer to a 3 and out inside of their own 10-yard line.
Yeah.
And block a punt.
And it's a field goal. It's a field position game.
Flip the field on cancer.
Yeah. Control time of possession on cancer.
Don't use a timeout early in the game to avoid a delay game penalty on cancer.
Yeah. Intentionally ground cancer. Is that good?
Get ahead of cancer in the first quarter and in stage 1.
Beat cancer. I think this tight beat means that it's going down with some random thoughts and white meat too. Midwest best friends eating fast food on repeat. So come along, let's have some fun and go ahead, get on your feet, cause it's the Ghostrunners podcast. Every Monday morning with Jake and Brad, Ghostrunners podcast.
Yeah, I don't know. It was one of those things. The first 5 weeks of the season, it went by and I was like, oh, yeah, great. And then something about week 6, I was like, hold on. This is dumb.
Yeah, intercept cancer. That is really, you talked about that at the game and I was like, that's a good point, man. Like,
what a dumb
why
phrase.
would you do that? Speaking of the game / how we got to the game, Andrew Schutte, member of the Guillotine League, let's just say he intercepted
defeat.
Yeah, defeat. And he is now running with defeat. So he is completely out of the Guillotine League.
I felt bad for the guy right after he gives us free tickets.
It was like, hey, man, memories for a lifetime, but see ya.
Thanks for the free tickets. Thanks for joining the league. Goodbye.
And to make matters worse, the week leading up to that, he was trying to trade away a kicker for a bunch of money. And Jake just roasted him for it.
I did let him have it a little bit.
Because, kickers are like the least valuable player on a team, would you say?
Yeah,
kickers in defense.
And just the disparity is the biggest thing. The difference in the very best kicker and the 15th best kicker, is minuscule. It's a single digit amount, you know? So it's like, no one's going to spend money.
So he's like, guys, I would love to get some money for Young Wei Koo. And Jake just did not let it go. He's like, I'm sorry, but this is ridiculous.
I said a few funny things, and then I just put my kicker on the trade block. And I was like, hey, guys, looking to get a top wide receiver for Daniel Carlson.
So anyway, just happenstance. Schutte gave us free tickets. We ridiculed him for a week, and then he got out of the Guillotine League.
I did hate to see it.
Yeah.
But also, I came at second to last in both the Guillotine Leagues we're in. So I didn't hate to see it too much. Yeah, I did like to see it.
And then Sydney also is out. So I want to give a quick to Andrew Schutte, to Sydney.
Thank you.
You'll be missed. Is this how they do it in the
I think it's 3 fingers.
Hunger Games? I think it's 5 fingers. They're just waving. They're just waving goodbye.
Wave goodbye to cancer.
Yeah. Take a 5-finger approach to cancer.
Anyway, dumb phrase. We're back though with another week. Brad, I want to start off with a story from the airplane.
Okay.
So
Dayton, Ohio. Yeah. We talked about Dayton last week. No,
I don't think that had happened yet.
Holy cow. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Okay.
Yeah. I went and performed comedy.
Okay. Yeah.
Have fun.
And you flew there.
Flew there.
Dayton Flyers.
Jet plane. Dayton Flyer. Good, good. On my way, this is like my last flight home. I'm boarding the plane. And there's a guy poor guy, they should have made him check his carry-on bag. It was just like a military-sized duffel bag. And there's no overhead space left. So he's poor guy trying to shove it under his seat.
What?
Yeah, and it was massive.
They didn't let him just I
don't know why they let him on the plane with that.
Were they watching him? I
don't know. It was one of those things I didn't notice it till it was happening in front of me. I was like, wow, how do you get through with that? Anyway, so I feel bad for the guy, and I know it's one of those moments where he knows he's holding up the line, and he's probably sweaty. So I'm trying to give him plenty of space.
Where are you sitting? Or where are you?
I'm in line, standing, trying to go to 25F.
Okay.
This guy's in 19C,
trying
to shove it in there.
We all know the type.
So yeah, he's in the aisle seat trying to shove it in, and so he's kind of taking up a little space. And so I'm not gonna crowd this guy. I'm not gonna try to scooch around him. Give him his time, give him his space.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think maybe the flight attendant thought that I was just a little too hesitant. She didn't like that. She starts kind of barking at me a little bit.
She thought you were anti-scooch, just in general. And
you're like, I'm not anti-scooch.
I will scooch if I can scooch, but this guy...
Chiefs tickets, we were right in the middle of the row. We had to scooch all night.
Scooched.
Left, right, and center. We
were scooching, baby. Yeah.
I gave him my front. I gave him my back. I will scooch anyway.
I am a scoocher. I'm not anti-scooch all the time.
Yes.
But at this moment, it was a scoochy situation.
My best friend's wife drinks Camp Scoocha. So
but not when she's pregnant. Okay?
Does that tell you anything?
Do not drink it when you're pregnant.
No, it's that alcohol. You got to be careful.
You got to be careful with that. Go Catholic.
So the flight attendant is like, sir, come on. Do you need help finding your seat? Just immediately kind of snarky. I was like, okay. And
have you ever seen a row, need help finding your seat? How hard, have you ever been anywhere that has a assigned seat ever?
Yeah. Are you aware with how the numbers go?
Is this your first time at Public, sir? Have you ever done this before? Never been to a sporting event?
And so I was just like, oh, no, I'm all good. I'm just giving him room. She's like, come along, sir. Come along. And I was just like, okay. She's like, now, which seat are you? I can help you find it. Which seat are you? And I was like, I'm kind of laughing, but I know how to board a plane, because at this point, other people are kind of looking at me. And so now it's I've got a little bit of an audience.
Snarky Jake gets
I didn't get too snarky. Okay. I laughed and we're just like,
scooch, no snark.
I know how to board a plane. It's okay. And, as I'm kind of scooching into my seat, there were people in the
scoochy seats,
middle of the aisle, and she gets one last jab in, and she goes, "If it feels like I'm rushing you, it's because I am. We got a lot of people with tight layovers. All right, I'm trying to get in and out." It's like, all right, fair enough. I don't say anything. I just kind of put my AirPods in, and I don't know. I think I'm watching a video. Brian Mood Swings Golf, something like that.
No, maybe correct opinions, maybe jean shorts, maybe Girls Gone Wild, maybe Trey Kennedy's channel.
Not Ghostrunners, though.
Not Ghostrunners podcast on YouTube, though. Which it is on there.
It is on there.
Yeah.
And so, but then something kind of catches my ear while I'm watching this video. And there's just the way that the intercom, announcement was said. I was like, this seems different. The cadence or the tone. It got my attention. And so I don't know what was said right beforehand, but when I pull my AirPods out, there's a male over the intercom saying, "We've been dating for exactly 3 years." And I was like, oh yeah, I pulled this out at the right time. And he just proceeds to propose to his girlfriend on a 6:30 a.m. American Airlines flight in front of everyone over the intercom.
Oh, wow. Bag still under their eyes.
Yeah.
Bag still not under the seats.
I don't know if everyone had boarded yet. I think everyone's just like, oh, is this happening right now? And so we're all kind of standing up trying to see. And I couldn't see anything. For all I know, they were both just at the very front, maybe in the cockpit. I don't know where they were. They could have been behind me. I never saw them. So it wasn't very public visually.
Yeah.
But he did make sure to do it over the intercom. But dude, the funniest part, well, two things were pretty funny. One is, dude, I got to see, it was perfect. I got to see the face of the snarky flight attendant who was trying to get everyone through. Oh, because another time, I heard her one other time tell another person, if it feels like I'm rushing you, it's because I am. She was really trying to be quick, 6:30 a.m. flight.
Yeah, she has that line in the holster, always ready.
She was just trying to just go. And then when that guy started proposing, the look on her face, she was so disappointed.
Oh, really?
Because it was like taking up time.
Well, my thought was maybe she was rushing everybody because she knew it was coming. You don't think so?
She looked so unhappy that it was so funny.
She was like, congratulations on your marital bliss, but there are some tight layovers. So you're going to need to get back to your seat.
Jacksonville.
Do you need help find your seat? So the first number is the row, and then the second number is like the seat that you're in.
Do you need help finding the altar? It seems like it because you're goo and gaga up here. It's not even your wedding day.
Dude, I don't think my body could get on one knee in an airplane if I had to. Like I don't know where the best spot. I'd go exit row. I'd have to get that front row exit row. Like
you have to buy 3 seats, make sure no one's sitting there.
Yeah. Do like the extra seatbelt thing, like the extended seatbelt, and like
it's a ride at the carnival or something.
Like I can imagine me trying to like, because obviously you usually see it coming before you actually get on one knee. I can imagine like, doing like the preamble,
we the people,
the prologue. Yeah. And then be like, so Catherine Hansen. And then I start to get on one knee and everyone's like, oh my gosh. And
I'm actually, it's gotta be a while.
It's like bumper cars. It's like a bowling alley. Like you got like the bumpers on each side. Like as I'm getting down and I finally get down and I'm like squished in there. And I can't even like hold the ring up. Would you make me the happiest man in the world?
The happiest man in row 19.
You would think that guy at least like could have, like, if he knew that he was going to propose that day, at least spring for like a 10:30 flight, It
was so early, dude. It was so, just like, I don't know if the sun had even risen yet. It was dark. And what's funny is like, okay, they propose this magical moment. And then, 10 seconds afterwards, it's like, all right, do you want to give him like the safety briefing and I'll get like the crackers? I mean, they just have to both go to work.
Oh, they were flight attendants?
Yeah, oh yeah, sorry. I mean, that's how. I missed
sorry.
That.
Well, I heard that you said they were on the intercom, but I didn't.
Sorry.
Oh,
they both worked. Yeah. Because then that guy just like gave announcements afterwards.
Yeah. You can use your seat as a flotation device. My wife can use her ring. I don't know, as a lifesaver. That's so funny.
Yeah, he works it into the safety thing. So today we're gonna. A lot of people do a unity candle. We're gonna be doing 2 parts of a seatbelt. You guys get it.
If you, I need a verbal yes. If you're ready to marry me, verbal yes. Verbal yes. He's on one knee. Verbal yes. I need to hear you say yes. Yes. Okay. Yes.
We did not sign a prenuptial agreement. There'll be no exit row in our marriage.
We will hit some turbulence. Like there's so many. Like I could just imagine the officiant at that wedding. Like you're gonna go through some turbulence. There's gonna be times where you don't really know what to do. You're gonna be flying standby.
It might feel like an engine has failed.
Mm-hmm. You might hit some birds.
Guess what?
On the way.
You can always still land the plane.
Yes.
Have you seen Sully?
Yeah, I was gonna say you all be each other's Sully. All right, you understand? Be each other's co-pilots.
You can have a little bit of alcohol on the job.
Yeah.
Ultimately, if you can land the plane, that's fine.
And we all know that it helps so much if you collect trash as you go. Right.
Help out the next guy.
So be consistent in your maintenance of your marriage, cleaning up trash, and all aboard.
Tray tables up for under 10,000 feet.
Also
okay, that was actually just for the airplane. Okay, sorry.
That one's just something I have to read FDA regulations because you guys are getting married on a plane just like you got engaged on a plane.
And then one last thing. So yeah, it was just funny, like this woman's face. She was just clearly just like, why does it have to be today?
Yeah.
Gosh. But parts of the proposal, not a large part, but parts of the proposal, the intercom system, it's not perfect. It was cutting in and out for all of us to hear. Because not only is he getting like choked up, he's just like, and I've never been more in the world. And it's like, I get the gist. And through his like,
talk louder,
What? Don't use the intercom. Just kind of yell it.
Oh man. Those are the moments that are my favorite moments of humor. Like stuff like that where it's like
stuff's kind of going wrong.
This is not supposed to go wrong, and it's a very serious moment. Like at Aaron Boleyn's wedding. Aaron's a listener of the podcast. One of her bridesmaids fainted during their vows.
That's fun.
Emotional vows. And it was awesome. And she had no idea what was going on, but everyone else was like, oh, we're seeing this happen. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was awesome. Yeah. So how was Dayton? Tell me more about it.
It was good. Quick hitters. I had a woman.
How many shows?
We did 4.
Okay.
I texted you this, but still just kind of a fun thing to hear. A woman from the comedy club came up after while Trey was performing on the last show and said, she works there. She's like, hey, I just got to say, I've been working here for a long time. and you're one of the best comedians I've ever seen with crowd work.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, wow, thank you. She came back in later. It said, hey, I have a podcast with a friend I do. It's called The Petty Podcast. Can I ask you 2 questions for the podcast? And I was like, sure. And it was like, what's the pettiest thing you've ever done? And what's like the pettiest thing someone's ever done to you?
Oh, that's a tough question on
I
the
know.
spot.
And I'm like, I'm not even like a very petty person. So this is kind of tough.
I'm not a scoocher. I'm not a petter. What did you have an answer
The
eventually?
only thing I could think of was that story I told on the podcast kind of recently when Panda Express closed at like 9:20. And I was like, what time did you close yesterday? 9:30?
Yeah.
What time do you close tomorrow?
Yeah.
I feel like that was kind of rude of me. And then it's hard to think of times when other people have been petty to you. Only thing I could think of is SBU not giving me my diploma.
I'm having a little bit of a hard time grasping the word petty. Like petty just means like, yeah. Can you describe
Like
it?
you go out of your way to be like kind of condescending or rude or like kind of
Like you're
like,
worried about things that aren't really that big of a deal, basically. Is
yeah,
that
maybe
right?
you bring stuff up that you didn't need to bring up. You're a little
Yeah.
extra snarky. You know, you kind of like you twist the knife.
Yeah. Okay. It's like, hey, they get the point. Like you don't have to
Exactly.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Gotcha. Well, this isn't necessarily petty, but and it's not about Dayton, so we'll put a pin in Dayton real quick. But I heard a little bit of an update on Correct Opinions about the Tesla and the Scratch. Can you update the ghosties about that aren't listening to Correct Opinions? Because I was excited for you.
Yeah, did we talk about it last week? Yeah, we just talked about that.
We talked about that it happened, and you like took a picture of the guy's license plate, and
yeah. Well, there's just one night. I think I got an email from Progressive, and so it kind of reminded me. And I was already sitting at my computer, and so I was like, "Let's just see." Go to Progressive's like auto insurance thing. I've never filed a claim on anything in my life. I don't know how hard this is.
Yeah.
So like, let's just see.
Have you never gotten in an accident?
I guess not.
Cool.
And so anyway, a few clicks later, and I'm already like filing this claim, and then it already has a portion on the web page of like upload photos or videos. And I'm like, well, I have that pretty readily available.
Yeah.
So it's drag and drop, and I mean, 30 seconds later, I filed a claim. I was like, oh, well, that was really easy. Yeah, let's go ahead. But kind of the bummer part, I got a call the next day, and my like claim agent, it's not even the word, my agent, my claimer.
Your anti-scooch claimer?
Like file claimer, like my flamer.
Yeah.
She was like, hey, so everything you gave me was great. I mean, the video footage, the license plate, we know exactly, like they definitely hit your car multiple times. We know exactly who it was. Problem is this belonged to a car service. So there's no way of knowing who the driver is. So we're gonna have to go through the car services insurance. So this could take longer. I'm like, of course this wouldn't totally be easy. Yeah, of course.
But it sounds like it's not hard for you necessarily. It's hard for them, right?
Hopefully not.
You're not gonna have to be the one calling the car service.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully, yeah. So
if anything else, it's like, hey, we have video of this happening. The Progressive can give you money to fix it.
Yeah.
And you're like, great.
Then take that money, use it on another car detail.
Yeah.
See what kind of animal I got.
Well, yeah, you probably could just get it detailed and get honestly get it out. I don't know how bad it is, but I got in somebody like rear-ended my car in college, and it just had a dent in like the back passenger seat, and it wasn't that nice of a car, so I didn't get it fixed, and I used the insurance money to buy Catherine a engagement ring.
Fun.
Yeah. So things to think about. If you're like, it's not that big of a deal for a scratch diamond.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, just take the money and use it elsewhere.
Yeah.
Is that insurance fraud?
I don't think so. I think sometimes, but I think it's more insurance fraud if you're like, hey, this mechanic fixed it for $3,000, but he told me it cost him $6,000. And then you kind of in cahoots with
like the insurance is still giving me the money it would cost to fix it. And then it's up to me whether or not I want to fix it.
Come to think of it, I don't know what insurance fraud is. So
if
anybody knows like that I committed insurance fraud on that thing in college, let me know and we'll scrub this part from the podcast. I don't think so. I don't think you're like liable to fix your car. I think it's like one of those things where it's like, if like
what you're entitled to.
We think this costs $2,000 to fix this. If you find somebody else, if you want to do it to yourself for $50, great.
Go do yourself.
Yeah, you go do yourself. Yeah. That's an inside joke.
Didn't I admit to a crime at some point on this podcast too? This might be our second time.
Well, I don't. Yeah, probably.
Something with taxes or something. I really screwed something up before.
Well, let's just go through all the crimes you've committed real quick. Never got in an accident, but committed some crimes.
I think in 2014 or 2015, I just straight up didn't do my taxes.
Fun.
But I would have earned, that was when I was working in youth ministry. So honestly, I lost out on like $800 probably.
Yeah. Back when taxes were fun.
What else? Oh, I stole chips from the airport on tour this past year.
Yeah,
I admitted
that's
that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt pretty bad about that.
I mean, that's a federal offense. It's at the airport.
Yeah, 'cause it's at the airport.
Um,
What else have I done?
you skinny dipped the last couple days?
Last couple days.
It's like a really directed question. Like, anybody in his house that we know? Anything you need to admit? You're like, no.
You leave the blinds
You
open
sure?
and walk around naked?
Yeah, yeah, that's a crime. Okay.
What
Okay,
else
so-
have I done?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Have you ever shot somebody?
I think I opened someone's mail one time.
I do that all the time for fun.
Oh, bad boy, bad boy.
Really?
I was walking mailboxes.
Catherine is like really serious about that. Every once in a while, we get somebody else. There's somebody else with like a similar name. I forget exactly what it is, but like on our street, and we get it, and it's clearly like trash mail,
Junk mail, yeah.
And I'm like, let's just throw it away. And
Totally.
Catherine's like, no, we can't do that. It's their mail. And I think it's like, hey, respect. Thank you, Catherine, for respecting our country. But
they don't need the Menards ad.
it's like they don't need another credit card. I guarantee you they have
Yeah.
enough APR on what they have now. So
I've thrown away money. That's federal offense.
is it really?
I'm a bad boy.
What do you? Yeah, you are, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I should have known that about you when I met you. Like this guy's a criminal. Throwing away money?
Yeah, it's crime.
How much money are we talking?
Pennies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Anyway, Dayton. One of the shows was Rachel and I's 1 year anniversary. And so I talked about that on stage.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, it's kind of fun. Rachel and I have been dating for exactly a year. I asked her what she wanted to do for 1 year anniversary. She said date night. I said, what about Dayton night?
Oh, they like that?
I don't know if it's exactly how I said it, but it was something like
Uh-huh.
that. You know, just like, she said she wanted to go out to a nice dinner. I said, what about if I go to Dayton, Ohio? Something, you know.
Yeah.
So that was kind of fun. There was a guy, yeah, had some great crowd work moments. I mean, just like, I remember this guy in the front row who had some glasses on and his name was Jeff. So I just kept calling him Dahmer all night. And I was like, yeah, it's a big show. People are eating that up, you know.
There you go.
Had good times with him. There was another guy I talked to. Actually, it might have been the same guy. He was I learned that he was a high school teacher, and then I asked him where he met his wife, and he said high school. So then I just kept calling him a perv all night.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, revisiting the scene of the crime every day at work.
Dahmer. Yeah, that's perfect. Wow.
So yeah, just some great moments there. Let's see.
What do we know about where is Dayton in comparison to the rest of Ohio?
It's just a little northeast of Cincinnati, I
Okay.
think. So kind of central Ohio.
Cincinnati low-key has like a lot of cities.
Cincinnati does.
Sorry, Ohio.
Oh yeah, I
And
don't know.
Cincinnati, I bet. Suburbs.
No, Alan and I were talking about that. We're like, have we performed in Ohio more than anywhere else? Because the county fair was in
Yeah.
Ohio. Canton. We've done a ton of shows in Toledo, like in 2020, I think. We've done Cincinnati. We've now done Dayton. We did 2 theater shows in Cleveland. And I think we did, Columbus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hear me out. Like, I think besides Florida, California, Texas, I might know more cities in Ohio than any other state. True or false? Could you think of another state that's like
Kansas and Missouri.
Well, sure, but like I'm talking about like cities, like places that you could perform comedy.
I'm
at.
talking about
I'm
cities.
not talking about like towns. I'm talking about like places that are like big enough to have a D1 college, something like that.
Fun game.
You know,
Yeah,
like maybe
Texas,
Tennessee.
Florida,
I don't know.
California got to be top 3.
But beyond that,
Maybe Ohio.
where are we going? Where are
Yeah.
we going, dude? Like, I don't know. Colorado, maybe. But Colorado's are all
No,
like, how
I can't
big
even
are
think of anything close.
It's Ohio, dude.
Ohio's got some cities.
I know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, and they're not like booming, like, whoa, that's a huge, like, Chicago, size city. But like,
Miami of Ohio, D1 school.
there you go. We got Miami, Dayton, Cincinnati, Cleveland, like all these ones you're saying. What else did you
Columbus, Toledo,
say? Columbus, Toledo,
Canton.
Canton,
Yeah.
the freaking Hall of Fame.
The light poles are goalpost.
What?
Did I tell you that?
No.
Like right outside of like the Canton, like the actual Hall of Fame itself, some of the telephone poles and light poles are a goalpost. It's
That's
pretty
fun.
cool. They're like yellow and goalposty.
Have you been doing any GeoGuessrs lately?
No, dude. No.
You're just off completely.
I know. I need to get back on it. I love that game. I still follow like certain like
It was a good phase.
GeoGuessr creators. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
in the space still, but no, I haven't played it in forever.
Okay.
Gosh, I love that game. Anyway, got to see some ghosties. Do you remember when I got sent? I saw this like random like women's clothing from Athleta probably 2 years ago.
And then you
Um,
send it to some random person.
Yeah, Megan. Her and her husband and her sister and her sister's husband. I've hung out with them before, after shows before. I started to develop like a genuine like friendship with them because they've come to enough shows and we hang out afterwards. And so
That's awesome.
I got to see them just for a bit. Got to see them. And then I need to apologize. There was a ghost. I just got to meet several ghosties, but one specifically named Scotty. He like waited in line. He was wearing a Ghostrunners shirt. And as he's like getting ready to like meet me, we're talking, we're chatting. The comedy club starts like turning the lights on and off on us. While that's happening, another like non-ghosty, just like kind of annoying, like drunk woman comes up and it's like starts taking all these selfies with me while I'm trying to talk to Scotty. So then like Scotty, I think just kind of like
conversation.
Yeah, we were just talking. She's like, selfie. And so I'm just like, oh, okay. And then just like that went on for longer than I thought. So then Scotty heads out and I feel so terrible. Now I'm talking to someone. I'm like, Scotty, it was so nice to meet you. I'm so sorry. And he just left. I just felt so bad about it. I would have loved to have chatted with you so much longer. But it's always weird vibes after a show, just the comedy clubs, and they want you out of there.
Yeah. I'm glad that you haven't lost that feeling of like, I want to hang out and talk to you though. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, thanks. No, I totally feel that. So.
Because yeah, it would make sense that eventually you would get a little bit tired of that, you know, or like become desensitized to that. But it's cool that you're always like appreciative of that. So
yeah, shout out Scotty and all the other ghosties. But what have you been up to?
A lot.
Been intercepting busyness or?
I've been intercepting vibes. On Friday night, I went to Allen Fieldhouse.
Oh, gotcha. That's
home of the Jayhawks.
That's right.
And they had, it's called late night. And so it's just their first practice of the year, but they always do like a big, you know, kind of like a variety show almost, beforehand. And it's usually like done by the students and they do dances and skits and all this stuff. And so got tickets through Olivia, a ghostie who is working for the athletic department at KU.
Came to my volleyball game a few weeks ago.
Came to my volleyball game last summers. Yeah, she's awesome. And she just moved to Kansas. And so she was like, I don't know anybody else who would want these tickets. Do you want them? I was like, yeah.
Bingo.
And so I asked one of my friends, Todd, to come with me. And Todd Porter.
Okay.
Listener of the podcast.
Keep going.
Listener of the Toddcast. Yeah. Todd's the one, actually, he's a friend. He's a kind of a newer friend. He's a podcast story subject. Do you remember the guy that was like, I know you from somewhere. You look familiar.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, yeah, it was, yeah, we took a class together essentially. And it was like this awkward, like, oh, here we, like, how do I
this YouTube channel.
How do I do this and assume this? And eventually he figured out is because he did, you know, work on my parents' house at one point. So, anyway, but yeah, like this whole like practice, I mean, is like sold out. Like it's 16,000 people come to this huge thing. And it's awesome. It's so cool. And this year specifically, they had like, you had to have tickets and stuff because,
COVID.
Because KU just won the national championship last year.
Oh.
So it was like way more like ceremonial. But it was fun. It definitely, I don't regret going, but there were like some hokey things because they definitely, you could tell they hired like an outside production crew this time to come in. And it was like really high production value, but like the MC, like they had two different MCs that kind of went back and forth. You could tell he was not from KU, like people call it the University of Kansas or Kansas sometimes, but like, you don't say like, get on your feet, Kansas fans. You know, people don't say that. Like you either say KU or Jayhawk, you know, and this guy would always, at one point he was like, this is the first time you guys could celebrate being national champs. And I'm like, dude, there's like 4 other banners up there.
Oh, that's rough. That guy's not getting hired back.
And you could tell like he was probably like late 40s, early 50s black dude. And like still said a bunch of the phrases that you would have said in the 1990s. Like if somebody's excited for the Jayhawks, somebody scream. And it was like, is this DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince up in here or something?
Somebody scream.
And it's just, that's the worst. I do not like somebody scream.
I like the idea of a somewhat out of touch MC.
Yeah.
Like yelling things into the microphone. That is funny. Or just like, yeah, factually wrong. Just like your first national championship.
Yeah. Like there was one point, like they were trying to kill time, I think. And so they played Simon Says with the players, which is just, that's a bad idea anyway.
That's such a lame.
So lame compared to like, hey, let's get the players to do a funny skit and like see them. And it was like, if they get out, they had to dance and do their thing, you know, whatever. It was like, okay. But you could tell that guy didn't even know their names, like the players' names.
He's like 13.
Like, yeah. He's like, what's your name, man? What's your name, man? And then the guy said, he's like, I didn't say Simon Says, you're out. And I'm like, okay, cool. So anyway, but the best part of the night, well, there were a few different things. So there was a DJ throughout the night. DJ, I think I wrote down. Let's see, DJ Tickatan, and it was this little Asian girl. I mean, and just she would try to vibe, and it was just like, this is not the right time for this, like, because they had the women's basketball team have their scrimmage first. And it looked like they weren't trying at all. Like it was like an all-star game, but even worse defense.
I see.
And so, but to like get the vibes up, this DJ Tickatan was trying to play these cool music, and it was just like, we are the champions, my friend. You know, like, and it was like, and she was going nuts, and like no one else was doing.
Somebody scream!
Yeah, but then like halfway through the women's scrimmage, I'm sure you've known people like this, or maybe you were one of these guys in college. Like they have trainers, like male trainers and male like people that practice with the women's team, and some of those guys got in the game.
Ooh.
And Todd and I just joked about like, how funny would it be if one of those guys just like threw down a dunk on one of these girls?
Oh yeah, or just anything that would be like a faux pas, like taking a charge on a girl, or
just swatting the crap out of her. I mean, yeah, they were like very, very tepid. Like all they were doing was swinging the ball around the key, and like they weren't doing anything. But I was like, how funny! There was one guy that took a 3-pointer at one point, and I was like, there's no way you're supposed to be doing that, like in front of all these people. But he's like, this is my moment, you know. This kid played like JV in high school, and yeah, just jaying. And so, but the culmination of the night after they did an awesome like ring ceremony. They did all the banners with the Big 12 and the Final Four and then the national championship, and it was awesome. And then the very last thing was DJ Diesel came out, aka Shaquille O'Neal, and
give him a little Shaq impersonation.
What do you want me to say?
University of Kansas.
University of Kansas. Here's what he did. Like literally the MC was like, if you're excited to see DJ Diesel, somebody scream. It's like, you could have done so many better things. Like, give it up for DJ Diesel, whatever. And he walks out. The dude is obviously huge.
Shaquille O'Neal is?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. You have to be there in person to know that.
No, it's one of those things though. It's like, I was not even that close, and he just looked enormous, like bigger than I was expecting him to look. Okay. Don't make fun of me for that. He's huge.
I agree.
He's huge.
He's a big guy.
And he gets on the mic. He goes, Kansas, I came here for one reason and one reason only. And then he plays we are the champions, whatever. And then it was like the same exact thing that
remix.
DJ Tickatan was doing.
DJ Tickatan.
I mean, we're calling Shaq a DJ, but honestly, I think he just takes people that already had made DJ mixes and just mutes it every once in a while. You know how like DJs like on a fun song that everyone knows, they'll just mute it and let the crowd sing it out. Or
great DJ move.
He did it 5 times every song, and it was like, okay, Shaq,
that's your move.
And then every once in a while, like while it was going, he would just like mute it. It would be like, and then he would just pause it and go, Kansas. Jayhawks. And it was like, oh, I thought I just muted that. It was like, okay, I think I get the, like Todd and I were standing there, and it was like, this is hilarious. This is great. And then 12 minutes later, I was like, I'm ready to go whenever you are. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. So, DJ Diesel was the man. He was fun. But overall it was just, yeah, it was enough after 12 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see him. It was cool to be like, yeah, I saw Shaq DJ. But yeah, overall it was really fun. I'm excited for college basketball season again. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Real quick, I just remembered I forgot to text Derek thoughts on the Jean Shorts video, and I think he's about to upload it. So I need to do that now.
Okay.
Would you like to? Well, we'll just talk live on the podcast. Did you have thoughts? My thoughts were, I thought we had a lot of organic bloopers in the video. I would like to see those in, like a lot of like us breaking character.
Yeah,
they were really funny.
Yeah.
I would like to see those in the video.
Those are my favorite kind of things.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. That kind of breaks that wall of like, oh, they're not acting anymore. They're just struggling to be these Gen Z people. I have a really hard time with the edit thing. I never know how to like sometimes I'll watch a video and be like, ooh, that's not as good as I thought it was going to be. But I'll think to myself, I don't know how to like,
could it be better, or is that as good as it gets?
Yeah. Without seeing all the footage, without like knowing, it's hard to like be like, hey, I just wish it were a little bit better, Derek. Like how do I critique that?
Yeah, you just reply, I was hoping it'd be funnier. And then he's like, I was hoping you'd be funnier.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm always curious, like, what would it be like with this kind of music in there?
Yeah.
But then it's like he puts music in, it's like, oh, never mind, it's bad. And then all of a sudden I feel bad for like making him go through all that effort to find music or like, oh, that's not the right kind of music that I was thinking of.
It's tough. Same with like graphic design, trying to send feedback on that. It's like,
yes.
Can I just see more different options? I don't even know what to tell you. Can I just see something different?
Oh,
see if I
man.
like it better?
I'm sure that editors, and graphic designers get so frustrated with stuff like that. And I honestly, in a very smaller extent, like I get frustrated sometimes as a woodworker when they're like, oh, that stain seems a little dark. Can you give me a lighter sample? Yeah. Like there's this guy that I've been working with for, I don't know how long now, 7 months. And he probably needed like 7 different samples and he's in Maryland. So it wasn't like I could just,
that is
I couldn't just like, and I was trying to send pictures, but it's not the same on a picture as it is in person. And so, it can get frustrating, but at the same time, it's like, I want you to be happy. So yeah, I don't know if I have like definitive thoughts. I think that's a good thought though about the bloopers.
All right. I just texted him.
So, yeah, I think that's good. I do have some irrational grievances this week. I've been kind of a curmudgeon of sorts. I don't get frustrated that often at other people. Most of the time I can just kind of shrug it off. But lately I've just been finding myself being like, I don't know why I'm mad at you right now, but I am.
Because Panda Express closed early.
Yeah, maybe it's the petty talk. What was the
petty podcast?
Petty pod. So yeah, one of them is towards my neighbor next door. The smokers, he's smoker adjacent. He's not a smoker himself. He's like this teenage kid. You've seen him before.
And also, speaking of your neighbors, I was a little worried about what was going on. Right when Rachel and I left your house last night, right when we pulled out onto 55th, a cop pulled in. Not a huge deal.
Say our street name. I'm just kidding.
And he shined like his like crazy like bright spotlight on the house, not with the weird smoker, but like across the street from your like back driveway. He like kind of kept driving, but yeah, he like shined a spotlight on their house at 10:30 at night.
I wonder if he was like looking for somebody that was.
I don't know what you look for. Was he just looking for street numbers? Maybe he had a parcel to drop off.
He's like looking for somebody who's like run away, like a runner.
Dog.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or dog.
Yeah, beloved dog.
Maybe that's what police do.
I don't know. We were driving away, so I couldn't see much. But I was like, that is interesting that he just spotlighted that house.
Thanks for not alerting me.
Well, figured I'd just tell you the next day.
Yeah, you got a fence.
Told you eventually.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Anyway, so this kid, he's in high school, and Catherine's always like, "Why isn't he ever at school?" And I'm like, "Catherine, we homeschool our kids. Why can't we like? We can't judge anybody else." But this kid's he's a little bit off. And he a couple of weeks ago mowed his lawn, and his lawn, like their lawn had been pretty like grown over, like it was pretty long. And the dude just didn't care and just like still tried to like mow it so short. And so like, and it wasn't like he was bagging it. He was just mowing it. So every 5 steps, it would like get bogged down and be like,
oh, because there's just so much grass.
Yeah. And then he'd kind of just lift up the lawnmower and just spit out all that grass. And then he'd keep going. And then like, every probably 5 minutes he would stop because he was frustrated and like tired of all this stuff. And I'm like, and I mean, grass is going everywhere. And it was one of those like things like a car crash where I was doing work on my deck, just like on my computer. I was like, I want to look away, but I can't. Like, it's just so frustrating to me. And then the other day he came out just shirtless, like Bo and Hattie were playing in the driveway, and he just comes out shirtless and like is cleaning up a rug or something outside. And I'm like, put a shirt on. It was like 45 degrees. It was not warm. And I'm like, what are you doing out? I almost said something to him, but I was like, that's not my place.
You're going to tell him to put a shirt on his own property?
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, this is silly. I wasn't going to say like, hey, put a shirt on. I was going to kind of ridicule him a little bit. And I thought, that's not very nice. But I was going to say, you forget a shirt? Would that have gotten through to him, you think? Hey, you forget a shirt?
Where'd this kid come from?
He's the son of the neighbor next door.
Okay.
So, yeah, he's kind of an odd dude. But anyway, he keeps to himself and whatever. It's fine. So that's frustration number 1. Frustration number 2, new trend currently trending in my life, back, it's back, is going to the library to work.
Yeah.
I think I talked about that like 2 years ago on the podcast. Kind of forgot about the library. I'm so sorry. I'm back and have been working on at the library, doing some website redesigning and maintaining and stuff. And two different people at the library. Like there's just like this, dock of probably 30 computers. And two different people frustrated me. First guy, just we'll say 15 seconds, laughed out of his nose. I'm talking like, so he's like working on the computer and he'll just go. And then
he's got
go
headphones in?
No.
Oh, interesting.
It was like this guy might be a little, a lot of times people that are going on a computer at the library are like a little bit odd.
Maybe they just love memes.
He seemed pretty normal, honestly.
They love funny tweets.
It was like, he was like, but it was like this kind of like snarky, like I can't believe they wrote the code like this. And it was like, it was constant. And it was one of those things, kind of like when you're getting like a water droplet on your forehead, like you don't know exactly when it's coming, but you know the next one's coming soon. So even when you're not hearing it, it's like you're waiting for it. And then it just.
You should try to match him. Done the Rachel laugh.
Can you imagine just like straight face, just staring straight ahead at my computer doing that? Yeah. And so at another time, I was like, why are you so frustrated by this? But I was, and like, I tried to get over it, but eventually I would stare at him every once in a while for a couple seconds and hope that he would make eye contact. We never did, but I was just like, hey, like, I hear you.
Why don't you put headphones in or something?
Well, I eventually did. And that was the thing, was like, I was really enjoying not having headphones in because the library is so quiet that I could just focus without it. Put on some lo-fi beats and it was fine. And then the second time I also had to put on headphones because this woman came and was the loudest typer I had ever heard.
Ooh.
Loud typers. It's like they're trying to, send a letter, saying, hey, the British are coming. The British are like, she is with so much urgency every time, just like, I'm like, and these computers are not, like they're like old school keyboards, like they're louder. I mean, that's just such clicking and clacking. And Catherine's honestly pretty bad at typing loud too. I don't know if it's a girl thing because I've noticed like when we were hanging out the other day and we were on our computers, like you're a quiet typer.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Because you're good at typing, I think. It's just like, and it was another one of those things where it wasn't like she was typing consistently, but when she typed,
when the British were coming, they were coming.
It was like, golly.
Is Catherine a cabinet slammer?
Well, we have soft clothes now, but
because Rachel is, and she loves the soft clothes in their house. But
yeah.
I've noticed how loud she is in the kitchen. She'll slam or ram those things.
Only when she's mad at me will she slam.
Just passive aggressive.
Oh
slamming.
yeah. She's loud when we're in an argument, like when we're kind of
tense.
On each other's nerves. She's louder, and then she'll be like, "I'm not being louder." I'm like, "Yes, you are. Let's just talk about this." She's like, I'm fine. It's like, I don't think you are because you're slamming every pot. She's like, I'm just trying to clean, whatever. So that's funny.
But at the library, you did get recognized by an old lady.
Yes, I did. Yeah, and it was like one of those days where I was half woodworking, like in the shop, half doing computer stuff. So I had like a stained long sleeve t-shirt on and like shorts with holes in them, and she's like, "Jean Shorts comedy?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh my gosh, I watch you guys every single day at lunch. You guys are so great. Do you mind if I take a picture?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine." Yeah. So anyway, it was fun to take a picture with her, and where I got recognized somewhere else, I think. I can't remember. Did we get recognized together? No.
I mean, Chiefs game, but
yeah, that's true too. Right. So anyway, the library's been awesome. We were at the library on Monday together.
Monday was a great day.
Yeah, a great day. Big monumental day.
Big day. Big day.
Big day. Yeah, we'll just put it that. We got some big things. Hopefully, we're in the works for the podcast. We're still working out a lot of different details that we'll give you more and more updates on as time goes on. But just know that we are excited about things to come.
Hope you guys like Ghostrunners, and hope you guys like a little bit of change.
Like big things.
Sure.
Like
hope you guys
Big
like
Daddy.
vibes.
Yeah.
I got recognized with Rachel at Spin Pizza. Pretty casual, pretty easy. But she just said a couple funny things. First, she said, "Are you the Instagram guy?" I was like, "Hey, it depends on who you ask, but I do have an account." And she's like, "No way. That is really." I just figured you'd live in like Canada or something. And I was like, oh,
Canada.
yeah.
Not like LA or New York.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know.
I figured you were like, Prince Edward Island kind of guy.
Really? Not in the Caribbean?
Really?
Huh. I just thought, okay.
What's like the most insulting thing that somebody could have said to you right then? Like, I just figured you would have lived in like
I didn't think you'd go to places like this.
South Dakota. I don't know. South Dakota, you're great. But yeah, that's so funny. Like that is interesting because I guess I assume that a lot of the people can like kind of tell that we're from Kansas City, but I don't know why they would.
I don't think a lot of people know that.
Yeah, you're right.
Think about the people that follow us on Instagram. They have no idea.
Yeah, that's fun. I guess I can sometimes intangibly tell like, oh, this is a Midwest place.
Midwest living room.
Yeah, I think I can. I don't know if that sounds ridiculous or not. Maybe it is, but that's fun.
Speaking of traveling, going places, this is separate than the little thing we just alluded to just now from our Big Monday. But Brad and I are kind of scheming up something. It may happen, it may not. We're not dead set on it. But how fun would it be? Dream with us here.
Oh, yeah.
People listening.
Close your eyes.
Close your eyes. Now slowly open your eyes because you're driving right now listening to us. Okay. You on a trip, maybe Hawaii.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe,
Let's say Hawaii.
maybe the Bahamas.
Maybe the Hamamas.
Maybe Tulsa. No, somewhere cool. With Jake.
I just figured you were like from Tulsa or something.
With Jake. With Rachel. With Brad. With Catherine.
I get third billing?
I was in order of appearance. You know how movies do that sometimes?
So you're saying Catherine's the ugliest?
What?
Oh, you're saying like, I thought you meant like the appearance.
No, like chronologically when they appeared in the movie, when they appeared in the sentence.
That made me think. Sorry, Catherine. Last night I was telling a story about this chiropractor, and I was like, and she looks a lot like Catherine. And Catherine's like, no, she doesn't look anything like me. She is young and pretty.
That girl's really attractive.
And I was like, yeah, never mind. Like,
that was a bad description.
Anyway, sorry. Jake, Rachel, Brad, Catherine.
You guys, maybe there's 20 slots. Any of y'all are welcome to join. Well, I act like it's happening right now. Basically, we would love to go on a trip with Ghosties. How fun would that be? Go somewhere cool, spend a week together, maybe do a live podcast while we're there, have some Hawaii specific merch that everyone gets.
Oh yeah, aloha.
When you come on the trip, I think there's a lot of fun things we could do around tourism with the Ghostrunners kind of thing, traveling, vacationing. So there's going to be a survey in the description of this podcast, whether you're listening on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, whatever. If you're even somewhat interested in maybe going on a trip with me and Brad, fill that out. You're not signing up for anything. It's more just for us to see what is our listeners' budget? Where did you guys want to go? You guys got passports? How long would you want to stay? Just stuff like that. Just helpful stuff. Let us know where you want to go. So we don't have a sponsor this week, but just pretend that's the sponsor. Go check that survey out. It'll take you less than 5 minutes. And it's a fun survey. I mean, you just get to dream about where you'd want to go on a trip.
There you go. Just fill out the survey. Let us know if you want to be a sponsor, if you know sponsors out there.
Mm-hmm.
I have a game to play real quick. On par with the library stuff that happens. So every time I get on the computer, the library, obviously it doesn't know anything. It doesn't know my passwords or my accounts or whatever.
Oh, I'd hate
so you have
that.
you have to but if you log into your Google Chrome on there,
yeah,
so nice.
Do it at Trey's house. That is nice.
Oh yeah. So, but this specifically, I was getting onto my Facebook business account or whatever, and so it had to identify or have me identify, and so it was the thing. I've never seen this before. It said you have to identify your recent comments.
That's new.
And so
on Facebook.
On Facebook, yeah.
Oh.
And so I was like, gosh, I don't know if I comment that often.
Facebook comment.
But I'm pretty sure that all these comments are from the Ghostrunners Facebook group.
Oh, yep. That's the only place I've left comments too.
And
probably.
Some of them are my comments and some of them are other people's comments. So
you have to decide which ones are yours?
So it says, to unlock your account, you need to correctly identify which 4 comments that you have written in the past 3 months.
3 months is a long time.
I know.
Comment. Yeah.
I was sweating. I was like, I'm pretty sure I got 3 of these, but I don't know what my 4th one is. I ended up getting them. So, okay. Let's just go yes or no to did Brad comment this? All right.
Okay.
Or and if you're listening out there, this could be you on the Facebook comment. This is what's so fun about it.
Facebook page is so fun, by the way, if you haven't joined.
2 exploding head emojis. Stop. These designs are too fire. My wallet can't handle how much I want these. 2 exclamation points.
Not you.
Not me. Jonathan Wilson, I like tagged somebody. Jonathan Wilson, fun fact: my Aunt Cindy was next door neighbors to Bible Man, which was filmed in my hometown of Olathe, Kansas.
That was a little easier. Aunt Cindy.
That one's like giving you answers for my password.
Yeah, that's like multiple pieces of information at once.
My Aunt Cindy, whose maiden name is okay. Next quote: The Rock did it for me. I agree with Scott. Emoji with sunglasses.
Not you.
Not me. Office whizzes ? Please ! I'm going to need a DM with some of the questions you missed without the answers so that we can play it on next week's podcast.
Yes.
There's another one that I think that tagged Mikey, the New Zealander.
Yeah. Fun
to hear from you. Providentially, this upcoming week, s'mores will be perfect for you.
I remember using the word providentially.
There you go.
That was cool. They asked, they're like, hey, what are some places we should go in the U.S.? And we're like, we just got done recording an episode.
Any places that are great to go in the U.S.?
The voting booth.
If you get a chance, guys, I mean, the Nazarene Church down the street just has a great voting booth.
I think please join the Facebook group. I might start sending out a press conference every week. If I just keep coming in last in the s'mores, I'm going to keep, making these video responses.
Motivation for Jake to keep coming in last. Okay. So those are 3 of the 4. And so only one of these next, however many, there's a lot. I see what you are saying now, period. But if you click the link, you will see this, period.
That's tough. That could have been you.
Okay. I'll just read all.
That's a maybe.
I'm shocked at how thrilled I am about this news. And I don't even know you two.
Not you.
Not me. Yeah. In case anyone needs some vibes on this beautiful Friday, and then a YouTube link.
Yes, you.
Maybe try this link, ? Not sure if it'll work, but the RSS link that you copied now redirects to this one.
That sounds like Justin.
Sorry, I don't have any advice for the trip. I've only been on the East Coast, but this is awesome and hope you have an amazing time.
I don't think you've only been on the East Coast.
I was like, I know I've been to the West. I don't like coffee or drink caffeine of any sort, but the way Jake and Brad talk about it makes me want to buy some.
I don't think that one's you.
Amazing. Also, how are you doing this on iMovie? I think that was you.
That was me. That was me.
Okay, so you're saying in case anyone needs some vibes on this beautiful. I clicked that one as well, and you were correct.
Boom, boom, boom.
You could have stolen my identity.
I could have stolen your F book.
Yeah. So fun game.
I don't know
what's. Yeah, I've never seen any way to identify yourself like that. I was like, this is kind of different.
That is kind of fun. I wish there were more ways. I'd
rather do that than street signs and
Yeah, click the motorcycles or what else could they do? Something where it's choose which of these ads you get targeted for. I could identify the ads that are targeting me.
Oh yeah.
Or click the reels that are suggested for you.
Okay. Yeah.
How well do you know your own algorithm? That'd be fun. 2 things. 1,
go
merch. Talk about it.
It's awesome. People are showing up. It's been a really awesome, supportive merch launch. I would say maybe one of our more successful ones so far.
Cool.
We have taken off free shipping, so it's now costing you to ship, but man, is it still reasonably priced.
And for us, we are no longer breaking even.
Yeah, whatever. We don't have to go into too many numbers, but let's just say I
think it's fun to be transparent
specifically,
sometimes.
Yeah, there was one order I think was they spent $67 and we made $5, I think.
If you ordered the right hoodie, it lives far enough away.
Yeah. Or if you ordered, order however you like. Don't let this sway you too much, but if you order different brands or different styles, sometimes they come from different areas. And so then it no longer just charges us shipping for one thing. It charges us shipping for 6. So for a while, that's why I took off coffee mugs, because I was people will get a coffee mug and a shirt. And then all of a sudden we're paying $15 for shipping, or whatever on it. And so, if you get the right combo of things, we might lose money. So I dare you to try to figure out how to make that happen. And we'll let you know if we do. But no, it's been really cool. Honestly, obviously we're trying to make some money doing the merch thing, but it's just really, really fun to see people wearing our stuff.
Get the name out there. Get the,
Yeah. My sister, she's a nurse and she went to this sedation conference out in Seattle. You know the one.
Is it Mike's?
Yes, Mike's hard sedation.
Yeah.
Mike's Market. Anyway, but she's and I always wear my ghosty stuff at airports just in case somebody recognizes.
You just never know, Brad.
Because I just want somebody to come up to me and be like, you listen to Ghostrunners too? And she'll be like, yeah, that's my brother that does it. She's always so pumped to be able to say something. So, it's just fun to have merch out there. And I love whenever I meet somebody and they have the merch on and stuff at our events and stuff. It's just like, oh, that looks cool.
Yeah.
You make that shirt look cool. So
yeah, Scotty.
thank you for supporting. Scotty had some?
Yeah, Scotty had some.
What kind do you have?
It was something I'd never seen anyone wear before. It was like a pretty like royal blue shirt with like red, maybe embroidered Ghostrunners on it.
Cool. Like,
do we sell that?
Yeah, I'm sure. But like, I mean, you're red embroidered Ghostrunner. You have to be a little more specific about what it looked like.
So the embroidery was red and it spelled out Ghostrunners in the middle of his t-shirt.
What kind of font we talking? We talking all caps? We talking?
Do we have that many options that could be in royal blue with red nylon?
Maybe did it look kind of Supreme-y?
Perhaps.
Maybe it was that one. Yeah.
Maybe.
I was trying to think of like the red. Yeah, the red is a little different, I guess.
Yeah. Either way.
That's fun, Scotty. Cool, man.
One last story I have just real quick. Rachel and I are about to start doing some like changes to the house, decorking the place.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Changes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that's a good word.
Yeah.
And so my parents are coming up. Rachel's parents are going to come down here in a couple weekends. We're going to do a big, paint session. And yeah, the cork flooring, we were going to do tile. And then my mom had a good point. Very thoughtful woman. She's like, hey, Rachel's always cold, right? Tile's like the coldest floor there is. Maybe you think about some other stuff. Like, all right, let's do some like vinyl, plank flooring maybe. Still look nice. Could look like wood, marble, whatever you want. And so we're picking that out. And a couple days later, I'm on the phone with my parents just catching up. And my mom was like, hey, just FYI, if you get that plank flooring in, it's got to acclimate for like, I want to say like a week or two in your house before you set it down. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. She's like, yeah, it's got to get like used to the humidity or whatever. I was like, okay, we'll make sure and order it now and make sure it's all ready before you get here. We have this whole conversation about it. Then we get done and my dad lets us finish. He's like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and say now that is not correct.
I was thinking to myself, do I disagree on the podcast or do I look it up and tell Jake later? Because I think that's the whole point of vinyl plank flooring.
My dad was like, that's hardwood floors. You have to let that acclimate in your home. The wood can, shrink or whatever.
Because it's wood.
Humidity.
Yeah.
And so then we all just got giggling. I was like, my mom, I was like, you could have told me anything and I would have done. You could have told me.
The paint will take about 6 to 7 weeks to dry. So like if Rachel's wanting to move in November, I would have painted last week.
It's not just acclimating to the humidity. I would start sleeping with it.
Yeah.
Read it a bedtime story.
Yeah. Like,
wine and dine it a little bit.
It will help. Yeah. If your humidity is part of it, because you will be the one stepping on it.
Yeah.
And so if you don't like rub your feet on it every once in a while. Yeah.
I mean, my mom could have said anything and I'm like, okay, if that's what you think. Yeah. Put some in your pockets. You kind of just walk around with it. Get to know the flooring.
Just like sand down a little bit of it and then just mix it in with your pancakes, your, whatever you're making that night. Spaghetti tastes pretty good. It's like a nice Parmesan cheese texture on there and you will acclimate to it and it will acclimate to you. Yeah.
It's got to be great. Yeah. And
that is funny. When you said that, I kind of even made a face of like, are you sure?
I was like, oh, I wouldn't have thought of that, but I trust you.
Like the whole point of that is like it's manufactured. So it's going to be less water or it's like more water resistant, more whatever.
Waterproof.
How about that, huh?
But last little caveat to the story. My mom did look it up and sent me a screenshot later. She was somewhat right.
She just Googled something. You can find anything if you Google it.
I think it said like 24 to 48 hours, like best practice. Like at least let it sit in your house for a little bit.
That's like one of those like, yeah, we're going to put this on there so that like, just in case kind of things. Trish, text me. I'll fight you on it. I don't know.
But yeah, it was just a fun conversation. Yeah. I was just so convinced. And my dad was like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and speak up now. That fun. Is wood.
Comment below some things that next week we can like try to play a game and see if is this true or false. Like these things about the house.
You guys could just play this whole game without me. Just like DM Brad privately and just start getting Brad to convince me of things that I need in my house. And I would probably believe most of it.
Well, like
you can't paint a fireplace. No, you could just say weird stuff like that. I'm like, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, like the brick, like it doesn't breathe right.
Because there's flames on the inside. You need fire paint.
Yeah. It's very flammable paint.
Do you have a left-handed paint roller? You're gonna need that for your dad. Just like anything. Like you're messing with a freshman on the baseball team. I don't believe you.
Do you know about the like disconnecting your hoses during the wintertime?
Not gonna fall for that one. Good try.
Good.
I'm gonna leave my hose connected.
It's gonna be frozen.
Mr. Brown, first test. Not gonna call you that.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah. That's great.
We did talk about doing a little trash burning together. I think that'd be fun.
Very Shawnee of us.
Yeah. Just start burning all of our cardboard. Okay. Anyway, do you have anything else? Do we want to get to the s'mores?
I don't have much. I wrote down the Chiefs game was fun on Sunday. We had friends watch it with us, and Hattie and Bo had Pretzel Palace. Thought that was kind of fun.
Oh, Bo told Rachel he loved her 2 nights ago.
That's right.
And he meant it. It was wild.
I don't know if he's ever told me that without me saying it first. You know what I mean?
He was so overcome with like emotion. Like he was giving Rachel like a hug good night. And I think she was like kind of tickling him, but it was just a good hug, I think. I think he was just enjoying it. And he was just giggling and smiling and like mid giggle. And we're like, I love you. And we were all like, whoa. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was something. I was like, did he say I'm hugging you? And they're like, I'm pretty sure he said
I love you.
I was like, good for him.
It was awesome.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, having dinner with them, and yeah, Hattie and Bo love you. It's so fun. Like even like I feel like our lifestyle is changing just a little bit. Like a lot of times we eat breakfast and lunch in the kitchen, you know, because we have that little island countertop kind of thing. And now the kids are eating in like the main dining area because I think they want to look and see you guys. Like,
really?
Yeah, just there's a chance that Jake and Rachel are going to be out there.
Oh,
so
you know, it'd be fun if we could like have, I mean, it'd be a little bit of an eyesore for everyone else, but some sort of like revolving like whiteboard in our yard that faces your window.
Fun.
It's like, hey, Hattie, or, you know, draw a little picture or something.
Oh, we got to figure out. Yeah, there's all sorts of ideas for that. Something to hang on the tree right there.
Yeah.
Maybe like during Christmas time, you can like change, like get one of those light displays that has like customizable text.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, dinner tonight, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you bring the salad?
Pasta.
That's fun. That's fun. All fun.
But yeah, Bo and Rachel really taking a liking to each other. Rachel watched Bo and Rosie last night, and I said, what have you been up to? And she said, oh, I just got done feeding Bo and
Rosie.
didn't love the sound of that.
Feeding Rosie?
I know. I was going to make it.
Bo?
Well, no, I was going to make a joke
sorry.
I'm
so sorry. Go.
It's okay. Just they seem to really like each other, and I'm worried about the time they're spending with each other when I'm not there.
I will say we left for church, and Bo was still there with Rachel because like originally Bo was supposed to come to church with us. He was acting terrible. Like we're like, he needs to go to sleep. Let's pawn him off on Rachel. And so we were like, Bo, we're leaving. And he cried really hard whenever we left. So it wasn't
I
like
texted Rachel. I was like, has Bo said he loved you again? She's like, no, he actually cried a lot when he heard I had to watch him.
Yeah. So there's something there. So just FYI, it's not all gold, but let's do it. All right.
Let's call Scott. We're going a little high tech this week. Should be able to call him, you know, just within. Yeah. Whatever.
He's going to go, hey, boys.
We don't have to hold the phone up to the microphone this week.
Good morning, mine pillow sacks.
Scott, where are you coming to us from today?
I'm coming to you live from a beautiful balcony at the headquarters of Dairy Farmers of America.
Which is in what city are you in?
Kansas City.
I'm in Kansas City, Kansas.
Thank you. Reporter in the field. We're recording this actually during the daytime. We haven't done that in forever. So it is 10:30 a.m. Scott is just right in the middle of a work day, but phoning in for the s'mores. Really fun. So
Scott,
and for the member of for the listener that's a member of the Dairy Farmers of America co-op, just don't worry, I'll shave this off of my lunchtime. We're getting things done. All right,
Scott, I visited you at work a couple weeks ago, and I took a picture of this sign that was describing the piece of art in the entryway. It says "The Milk Pour" is the name of the art. It says, "Milk is what." Tell me if you agree with this, Scott. Milk is what connects us, from our family farms to consumers around the world. This sculpture is an homage to our hardworking member owners and represents our commitment to delivering wholesome, delicious dairy to families everywhere. Is that true?
Wow.
That's true?
Well said.
Is that true?
Milk is what connects us. I mean, it's the first thing we drink, right?
That's right. And that's the kind of milk you guys are selling?
It's very profitable right now, actually.
I just think that was funny
milk.
in the Gen Z video that has come out, but I was like, "Yo, I'm weak because I don't drink any milk.
Like literally, I'm weak.
I'm literally so weak. I don't have any calcium in my body."
Yeah, get DFA to sponsor us, Scott.
Scott, yeah, come on,
Sure.
dude.
I'll throw it out there. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We have member listeners, so it fits the brand.
Great. Everybody drinks milk, kinda. Okay, last week, Brad ran away with it again. No one's surprised, but I am surprised that Scott had twice the votes for me. But it's all right. I've got to be better. This is on me. I've got to go out there and I got to execute, and I didn't execute. So this week, I will probably not execute.
Yeah.
Jake, I'm down to form an alliance with you. We need to dethrone Brad.
I like
Just
that
like
idea.
sort
Like
of thing.
Scott just chooses like terrible picks on purpose, and we think it's because he's just bad, but really it's because he's trying to give all the other picks to Jake.
Yeah, we like collude. Like, all right, Scott,
No.
this week you have the best ones. All right, I'll do bad ones. I'll give you some of the best ones.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Or we just gas up each other's picks and then
Like,
absolutely
yes, Scott.
destroy yours.
Yeah, that's fun. But yeah,
Jake's
so
like, yes, South Padre sunrises are the best.
Dude, yeah. There's nothing like him.
a little EDM in the morning,
Way
looking
better
over
than
the
North
Gulf.
Padre. Yeah. Oh man. Okay, well this week is going to be the S'mores is going to be movies that everyone should watch.
Yes.
Movies that everyone should watch. I won last week, so I'm going to choose the order. We're going to go Jake, Scott, Brad.
Wow, it's very nice of you. Thank you.
Yep.
But it's also because there's not an obvious one this week, so maybe smart of you.
That's 100%.
Yeah.
And I know what Scott's going to pick. And if he doesn't pick it, I'm going to pick it. So
That's the thing is that I think
I would love for you to pick what Scott's going to pick.
Yeah.
I would love that. I would love for that to happen.
I'll hang-
I was
I'll
gonna
hang
say
up,
like
Jake. We're forming an alliance. Don't do this.
yeah, Scott and I are. I haven't played pickleball in like months probably, but Scott and I have a little alliance on the court tomorrow night. We're playing together in a little, not quite a
There you
tournament,
go.
but it's kind of
Fun.
a little thing. So that'll be fun.
I'll
But
treat it like a tournament.
yeah, I think Brad is gonna run away with this one. He's seen so many more movies.
I don't know.
Oh, really? I just like I haven't seen
Scott,
that
I
much.
bet Scott's seen more movies than me.
Oh, I thought Scott had seen even less movies than us. Scott's only seen Top Gun. I think.
In the last year, yeah. No, yeah. Scott.
You're not wrong.
Scott also has a lot lower of a bar than I do for movies. He told me the movie Free Guy was the best movie he'd seen in a long time. Have you heard of this?
Yeah,
Dude, it was a great movie.
I watched the
Have
first
you-
half of
did you
Free
watch
Guy.
it?
Yeah, and I liked it.
It was not a great movie.
It's a great movie.
It was enjoyable to an extent, but I remember watching it and thinking Scott would be giggling his bottom off right now.
Hey, you're trashing my first pick right now. All right, don't say that until I pick it.
Okay, sorry.
No, who knows? Maybe it'll be even playing field then, because I think I also have a pretty low bar for movies.
Yeah.
Except I didn't like Whiplash. All right, my first pick
Spoilers.
is going to be the movie Forrest Gump. It's
Good pick.
been
Good
probably
pick.
just my favorite movie, at least non-comedy like favorite movie. Just has it all. You know, it's got some romance, great storytelling. I mean, I don't need to like hype up Forrest Gump. You know what it is. It's a history lesson in a movie.
When
It's
you
so
think
great.
when you think of Forrest Gump, what's like the first scene that comes in mind?
Oh, I think of him sitting on the bench probably.
Okay.
That's just pretty iconic.
Yeah.
Think of the sneakers. Think of the big beard, him running. Must have had me 13 Dr. Peppers. Think of that.
How does it feel to be an All-American?
How to dangle.
Yeah. Love the voice.
Lieutenant Dan, ice cream. Yeah, we could go on forever. So fun.
Yeah, quotable, funny, iconic characters, you know.
Boil it, saute it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
And
I mean,
the butt talks.
like obviously, yeah, he's got amazing, like a million great quotes in that movie. But then people that aren't even him have amazing quotes in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Gary Sinise
Gary Sinise
just plays Lieutenant Dan perfectly.
Yeah, so good.
Jenny's great.
Hello, Mr. Gump. Haley Joel Osment.
Yeah. Mr. Gump.
So fun.
All right.
Okay, good.
That's my
That would have
pick.
been my first pick as well, Jake. Scott, go ahead.
I mean, it's like everybody knew this was coming, and I don't need to say much more than I've already said hundreds of times on this podcast. If you haven't seen Top Gun Maverick already, what are you doing? I mean, come on.
What are you doing?
It's
Who are you?
That's my favorite movie of all time. Dethroned another longtime favorite movie that's on my list today. I won't mention that yet, but I think both of you already know that one.
That's silly and super silly. Like just even more silly than silly.
Huh?
No, not silly.
Not that one?
Yeah, it's.
Oh, you're like, oh, good idea.
It's just the best movie ever. I mean, I can't say enough good things about that movie. Everyone's got to see it. Got to see Top Gun Maverick if you haven't already.
Oh, Top Gun Maverick. Oh, okay.
So not the original Top Gun.
Original Top Gun's still out there.
So the one that like made Top Gun Maverick iconic is still out there? Is that what you're saying?
It is, yes.
Okay.
Yes, Top Gun Maverick is my first pick.
Good. I'm going to take that one off my list. I didn't even write down Forrest Gump, but Forrest Gump in my head was like my number one pick.
Well, I didn't write it down. I wrote it down. Top of my list.
I can tell you there's going to be movies that I leave on the table that I'm like, oh, geez, why didn't I think of that?
Oh, geez. Oh, geez, guys.
Geez.
All right. My first pick, let's see if I can do it in a quote as well. Maybe we should just quote to start our picks.
Oh, okay.
You like that? Ready? This one goes out to inside joke from the basketball team. Where's Rachel?
Okay.
Oh, dang it, Brad. Dang it.
I actually didn't put that even on my like top 8 list. I thought about it because it is a good movie, but I think because it has the stigma of a superhero movie, I don't know if like every person needs to see a superhero movie.
Okay. Well, this does not have to do with that necessarily, but can we preface like, unless you guys disagree with this, can we preface like the Mount Rushmore of movies that everyone should watch at the appropriate times in their life? Because I have a few on the list that are like rated R that I'm like, well, I don't want to be like, hey, a 12-year-old, you should watch this movie.
You need to watch this before middle school.
Yeah. Right? Okay. I just want to preface that, like, because obviously The Dark Knight is kind of a scary movie.
Movies that everyone needs to watch while still following the guidelines set out by the PGAA.
PGAA.
I don't know if that's accurate, but Parental Guidance Association of America.
Yeah,
that's probably a thing.
Yeah, like the green screen that came up beforehand.
Yeah. I'm gonna look it up.
What if it is not yet rated? It's definitely not the PGAA.
You don't think so?
I will know it if you gave me a multiple choice.
Okay. So Parental Guidance.
Hold on, I'll look it up.
Company.
Ratings. Yeah, but Dark Knight is my number one answer. It's iconic for so many reasons. I understand what you're saying, Jake, because I'm not a big superhero movie guy either. But this one is so different than any other superhero movie. It's not. There's like most of the superhero movies I've seen have like kind of like more humor to them, more lighthearted things. This was like such a dark, intense, like, and the fact that Heath Ledger literally like was no longer alive when it came out.
Like this role might have killed him.
Like just an amazing job of acting by him.
It's great storytelling and it's great acting.
Probably the best opening scene of any movie that I can think of. You know, the scene where they're robbing that bank, the Joker and all those guys.
I think The Dark Knight Rises also is a great opening scene when they hijack a plane while it's in the air.
Oh yeah, that's really cool
fun.
too.
Saw that in IMAX.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Yes, just all really cool. So, The Dark Knight. Yeah, I thought the first Batman was fine, but that second like The Dark Knight was unreal.
Bumped up a notch.
Bumped up a huge notch. So
didn't we see that together for the first time, Brett? I think it was like me, you, and Aaron. I thought.
Oh, you guys.
I can't remember. I saw it twice in theaters.
I thought
pulled the Top Gun
we
on
did
him.
see it together because I remember like there's 2 movies that have given me chills like walking out of a theater, and it's The Dark Knight and Top Gun Maverick.
There you go. It's a good first pick then.
It is a good movie. It's a good movie.
And then my second pick by way of quotes is going to be, let's see. Okay, I'll just do this one. Buzz your girlfriend. Woof.
Really?
Home Alone. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
one of the greatest,
that's on brand for Brad.
most nostalgic, great, wonderful movies of all time. Yes. Oh yeah. It's probably my favorite movie of all time. I think it's just so wonderful in so many ways. The fact that it's like this beautiful home at Christmas time, and there's all the sentimentality of the family aspect of it, but also obviously the humor. Joe Pesci and what's his name? Daniel Stern. They're so funny. Like the whole thing is wonderful. Yeah, just 100% iconic. Yeah, timeless movie for me.
It is. It's a good movie and has a lot of like nostalgia to it, and it's Christmas movie. One of my favorite Christmas movies.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you hadn't seen that movie and it's like, hey, you need to watch this today, I don't know if it like holds up that well. I don't know if it's like a good enough like storytelling because like it's so much like slapstick humor, right? And it's so much like probably like, yeah, you saw this movie when you're 11, you're like, this kid's a freaking genius.
Yeah.
You watch this for the first time as an adult, and you're like, okay, this is kind of dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, one call to the police would have solved this whole thing.
That's fair. Like today's age, like it's like, why didn't you just answer that phone call? Or why didn't the police like knock on the door more. I get it. Like there's definitely holes in it. And I've watched
Ooh,
that.
holes.
You say
Holes.
holes?
Louis Sekar.
How do you spell yell nats? No, I've watched them. I've watched Home Alone once with somebody that was just like, why don't they just go around back? Why did they do that? Why would that? And I'm just like, stop.
Dodge the paint can.
It's a movie. Come on. And there's so much, it's so much more than just obviously, I don't know. There's something to the childhood aspect of it. You're right. Maybe as a 35-year-old, if you've never seen it before and you watch it for the first time, it's like, okay, that was sweet. I don't know. I would like to hear somebody's account that has done that recently, especially if it's in favor of my vote. So,
okay. So we have The Dark Knight and Home Alone 1.
correct.
All right, Scott, back to you.
Okay, my number 2 pick is the movie that was dethroned by Top Gun Maverick. And since we're using quotes, and since on my first pick I used a song, I'll also sing a brief song for this one, and it goes, Mock, yeah, ing, yeah, bird.
Scott just at work right now. Just
yeah,
Mockingbird, yeah. Mock,
come up.
see, see.
Oh gosh,
That's just Park's
Dumb and
finest.
Dumber. Dumb and Dumber is my number 2 pick, and of all time quotable movies, I honestly think there's no movie more quotable than Dumb and Dumber.
that might be true.
I think just about every single day something happens where I can quote Dumb and Dumber. And when I was on my mission, I don't know if you were on the email list, Brad, but when I was on my mission, I wrote a letter home every week for 104 weeks. And the subject line was a different quote from Dumb and Dumber every single time.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm out doing the Lord's work. But my report home starts with a Dumb and Dumber quote.
Starts with the Farrelly Brothers work.
Yeah, there's just it's been my favorite movie for years and years and years, and it's honestly the funniest movie ever in my opinion. So that's my number 2 pick, Dumb and Dumber.
It's a good pick. Yeah, I think it's my favorite comedy of all time, and I think it holds up decently well. And yeah, it's funny. Jim Carrey in the early days,
It's
just so much
timeless.
It's pretty
timeless.
Just like you don't have to wait long moments for like the next funny thing to happen, which I think is nice about a good movie. It's just like, yeah, it's just jam packed with just like dumb stuff the whole time. So
Did you guys ever have a hard time? I could not. I always hated the scene where they were fighting and the guy, he was like, I think it was a dream, right? But he took out the guy's
heart?
Yeah.
Oh, so I didn't even know he actually took that out, because the Dumb and Dumber I grew up watching was I took a blank VHS and recorded the TV version, so they didn't show that part.
Oh, really? They showed it on my TV.
Oh, really? So I never saw
Kansas
that.
City TVs were a little bit
It
more
just
loose.
skipped over it, and he would just give him like this kind of bloody like
Bag?
to-go bag. And I was
Yeah.
like, what happened? I also didn't start recording at the very beginning of the movie, so I never saw the opening scene till I was like, 20 years old.
Oh, that's the best. I love that
They're
song.
like,
White old body, show body,
We got you, Balu. Lie down and go donut.
that along with the, I think my movie would start about halfway through that song. So I got part of it, but I didn't get the like, I love your accent. Where are you from? Austria. Well,
Really?
good day, mate.
Oh, yeah.
I never saw that till like one day in college watch. I was like, yo, what is this? The deleted scene? This is awesome.
That's wild. Like to think about like, yeah,
Your
a
favorite movie
so well.
has more to it.
That's so funny.
It was fun. Scott, now that you mention this, I forgot we were just like very casually just quoting Dumb and Dumber while texting last night. I didn't even think of it. That was great.
Yep.
We
sure did.
Silly and more silly. That's what I was alluding to earlier.
Oh, yeah, I didn't catch it. Didn't catch it.
We don't say stupid in our house, so we say silly.
Okay.
So
okay.
FYI, when you come over.
When I come over.
Yeah.
When I come over.
When Bo gives you hugs.
Okay, great pick. My next pick is going to be We Will Blitz All Night.
Dang it.
Remember the night forever. Yeah. I'm Gary, you're Julius. You know some particulars. Yeah.
Scott
Do the
Caldwell.
words cruel and unusual punishment mean anything to you?
Scott Caldwell's loving this right now. You know he is.
Weak. Water is for washing blood off that jersey. You don't get no blood on my jersey.
Uniform.
Yeah, tight uniform.
But yeah, just a great movie. I don't even know if I fully appreciated it when it first came out. I was probably in like 5th grade, and I was like, cool, football movie where they actually know how to play football. I loved that like Sunshine could actually throw a pass. I was like, great.
Oh,
Finally, we got some athletes. playing, good sports in
We never seen a football injury before, you wimps. Love that part.
California.
Louis, let him through.
Let him through. Let him through.
Scott, remember last time Scott and I played together, he was like, what was the play they ran? And Scott, he didn't really have it too close.
Yeah.
He's like, what was the play they ran? Like a 22 dive with like an end around revert or something like that. He's like,
The backside George reverse.
yeah. And then I'd tell him, he's like, that's it. That's
the
it.
backside George reverse.
Yeah.
Like, your life depended on it. Where's Rev? Yes, sir. You ready to run?
Backside
Yes,
George
sir.
reverse.
Oh man, what a movie!
Great movie,
So
very
freaking
quotable. I mean, just great. Once again, not only great storytelling, but great story based on a true story, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Just great life lessons you can learn in it. I don't know, just awesome movie,
Amazing.
and it's just a fun success story,
And it's one of those times. Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen it, sorry. But it's one of those times where every single time I watch it, I think maybe this time Gary won't get hit. Do you ever,
Gary, just pay attention to the road?
I know that that's like maybe a thing that I do that other people don't do. But every time I watch a movie, I think maybe there's a chance that this is a different version of it. Maybe this is the recorded one that like takes out that scene. That's
a consistent joke my dad will do.
Gary,
when,
it's a two-way stop.
Yeah.
Like my dad will be like, like let's say I was on the phone with him, like, oh, what'd you up to today? Oh, I watched Remember the Titans earlier. Yeah, Gary got hit again. He'll make it seem like it was up in the air, but in the end, they did end up hiring Coach Boone, or whatever.
Yeah, that's like what makes it fun to watch a movie is like you think maybe this time the guy's not on the sidewalk going, Gary! Maybe you're just like,
you, man!
It's a two-way stop, man! You!
Buckle up, Gary! You buckle up!
You click it or ticket! You!
So
I remember when I came home from watching that movie, I wanted to throw left-handed so badly. I was like, I was practicing in my garage trying to throw left-handed. I was like, I got to be like Sunshine.
he had a great stroke. That was pure.
Greatest soundtrack of all time?
Oh, Forrest Gump, probably.
You think so?
I got the soundtrack choices.
It is
apparently.
very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump's also good. Really, all these movies except for Dumb and Dumber have pretty good soundtracks.
Why babe? Not that one.
Mary Moon.
Yeah.
She's a vegetarian.
Yeah, I stay with what I'm saying. Those are fun songs. They're not iconic like all the rest of them.
Okay.
Not like this. Dun, 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 All right, Jake, you get 2 picks.
One more.
Yes.
Or would you like me to finish it out?
No.
Okay, I'll just do one more. This is where it gets tough. I don't know. The third pick is tricky. There's one that I like that I think I'm going to get made fun of, so I think I'm going to skip over that one.
The pistol.
No. I think a movie that everyone needs to see or should see, whatever we're calling it, is the movie Good Will Hunting. And I know you haven't seen it, but like all my picks, just beautiful story, amazing. You see two people who maybe you don't necessarily have a ton in common, able to build this beautiful friendship together, great relationship. Scott, have you seen Good Will Hunting?
I've not seen Good Will Hunting.
Cool. So you guys should
Jake's
maybe
the movie guy. Jake's the movie guy in the group.
Huge movie buff, huge movie guy. I love Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and all the Avengers movies. I've seen them all. And Harry Potter.
Big Harry Potter guy. And Twilight.
Yeah, all the big ones. So anyway, just a great story, also quotable. It's also just early Damon, early Affleck. They wrote the whole movie together, which I think is really impressive. Like,
that's always fun when it's like they really, really care.
You're like,
about
wow, yeah, it's kind of a Boston movie. You know, these guys are from Boston, and it's just like, wow, like how fun is it to have that much talent, to be able to act, to be able to be good looking, and to be able to like write such a like smart, like movie and script.
Can you give me just a quick like rundown? Like I know Matt Damon's like a blue collar guy and he's really smart. That's all I know about it.
Him and Ben Affleck are both kind of this like these blue collar like construction workers. And there's like a really awesome just like little monologue that Ben Affleck gives Matt Damon. He's like his best friend. And he's just like telling him like, if I come back in 10 years and you're still here, I'm going to be so upset at you. Like I'm because you have a chance to make it out. Us, we don't. We're going to be here.
So Ben
packing our
Affleck is not
lunches.
smart.
He's not as smart.
Okay.
But they all realize they're trying to like support Matt Damon and be like, you got to go do something with your life because the rest of us don't have that privilege. And
Gotcha.
It's really cool. Like fires you up to like go do something that you should do with your life.
No, yeah.
And Robin Williams.
Things.
Robin Williams is amazing. And he gets Matt Damon's this, really tough around the edges guy. Yeah, construction, blue collar, and he gets him to break down. Oh, it's an amazing scene. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's a great scene.
Okay.
Yeah, good movie.
Love it. All right, Scotty.
Scotty?
Okay.
Okay.
Batting number 3 in my lineup is the most iconic baseball movie of all time, The Sandlot.
Okay.
Good answer.
I thought about it. I thought about it.
That wimpy deer. That.
The Colossus of Clout.
The Colossus of Clout? The Great Bambino. Oh.
I think this is another
Just an absolute movie of my childhood. Basically was Brad and I's life.
Yeah.
Growing up, we would just go to school,
Yep.
Play wiffle ball, play baseball, and chew Big League Chew. We didn't ever go for the full dip like they did on the
No Red Man?
at the festival.
But we did do the Big League Chew and like reenact the scene. Like,
Oh, 100%. I put a massive wad of Big League Chew in my lip.
oh yeah. Gosh,
Big
yeah.
time.
Jake's not loving the pick.
Well, I think it's similar to Home Alone. I think it's like this is a pick that a millennial picks this, right? Like you asked your grandpa, hey, what's a movie everyone needs to see? I don't know if he's like, it's got to be Sandlot.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because
like I think this is like you grew up watching this and it's a baseball movie. And when you're a kid, you love baseball. So you love this movie.
yeah, there's some iconic parts of it though that I think are
America the
timeless.
Beautiful
I feel like
by
it's
Ray
still
Charles.
good.
Oh yeah.
Yes, iconic.
I will say, my father-in-law, who's a big sports guy, like pretty in tune. It's not like this is very out of character for him. Hadn't seen Sandlot, and when we were on vacation a few years ago, we watched it together, and he really liked it. He thought it was hilarious and fun. But yeah, I think I was gonna say, well, my dad would definitely say Sandlot, but that's because he grew up with me, and so we watched it together a lot. You know what I mean? So
it is a good movie. But I think when you're a kid watching it and you see these kids just playing baseball day, you're like, this is awesome.
But then there's also like the scene at the end where the guy's like talking, like he brings it to present day, and it makes you realize like, oh, I miss those days when I was a kid playing baseball.
Sure.
So another
I think
quotable, iconic.
I think every time we break a pickleball while I'm playing pickleball, I go, oh, now we can't play no more.
Yeah, I do quote that quite a bit. Yeah, when the ball goes over the fence or something. I can't play no more.
Okay, this is where the rubber meets the road. I have 2 picks to end.
Mm-hmm.
You go with Black Sheep? Was that a quote? Are you quoting Black Sheep?
No, I'm not going with Black Sheep.
Okay.
My first one. You ready for this?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull the microphone away a little bit.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the quotes.
Do you know that one?
I feel like
Toy Story
Brad killed
2
this movie just to be able to sing that.
Yeah, his choices are now based on how he can announce it.
Yeah, how can I just present them really well? Yeah, I think I said this a long time ago on the podcast. I think Lion King might be the best movie ever. It's so wonderfully emotional and like just a great story of, just boyhood to manhood and taking control of your responsibilities. And it's like the first Disney movie, I think, where somebody like really tragically dies like that. Well,
so I think that would kind of knock it a little bit. I was talking to Rachel last
I think
night.
that makes it like real. I think that's like a good movie is not one that's just like happy all the time.
Not for kids. I think it's a bad movie for kids to watch.
Why?
Rachel was telling me about it. She's like learned about it in her classes.
Tell me more.
I don't remember exactly what she said. She was out there just social working me again. But something about like it teaches it's not a good lesson for kids to learn like detachment like that, like from like their parents.
What do you mean learn detachment? Like to learn?
I'm having to paraphrase what a therapist is telling me. I shouldn't be the one speaking on this.
I watched it as a kid and I loved it.
I know. So the reason I was like, Rachel, help me out with some of these smarts. What do you think? And I was like, Lion King. And she was the one who's like, that's not like the best, like, movie for like
you see how messed up Brad is? Like, like he would be really normal if he would not be laughing in the car by himself if it weren't for Lion King.
And maybe Rachel's listening to this now being like, no, it's not a bad movie.
Yeah.
It's
like,
just
that's not what I meant.
It's just like, there's other movies that have better lessons, so maybe I still think she would say it's a good movie because it is a great movie.
Oh, I think, yeah. And you don't know enough about it, so I'm not gonna like keep asking you questions. But I wonder if it's like specifically because Mufasa dies.
Yes. Because like early on,
yeah,
father figure is ripped away.
Yeah. Oh, and you see the effects of that. So it's like, oh,
I don't think the kids are able to understand that. Like, oh, but if I can somehow find a wise monkey, I need to find my own wise monkey. What does that mean in my own
or
life?
you're just like, wow, dads are important. I want to love my dad since he's not being stampeded.
Or you take it literally, and like, even if my dad dies, maybe he'll talk to me when the clouds change.
Yeah, there you go.
I haven't seen that movie in 20 years, so I can't remember much, but good move.
Okay. This is where I don't know. I have so many good ones, but
Well,
I think
sing whatever you believe in.
I'm going to go with, one more just iconic one. And I can't even think of like a really, really iconic quote, but the iconic scene at the very end of the movie, it's pouring down rain.
Oh, this
lightning,
yes.
storm out, and he just has a shirt off and he just looks up to the sky.
Yep.
Every single time it rains and I'm outside, I do it. I Shawshank all the way up to the sky.
We tried to get that started because you remember back in the day, like planking and owling.
Yeah.
We tried to get Shawshanking to become a thing where you're on
like
your
it.
knees with your hands up in the air.
Shanking. Yeah.
I'm Shawshanking right now.
Oh yeah, dude.
I've never seen Shawshank Redemption.
Oh really? It's awesome. It's so good.
Maybe a good quote. Hope is a good thing. Maybe the best thing. No good thing ever dies.
That's good. Yeah, it's just such a great. That was another one that was on TV all the time growing up. Like, so I feel like I watched it on TBS, like, 21 3/4 times total in my life.
Yeah.
Like I would watch 30 minutes of it at a time or whatever. A good one is Radar. So there's some mature themes in it, but overall,
Prison.
My gosh, so good. Just a wonderful ending. Yeah. Anyway.
Had it on my list. Good
Yeah.
storytelling.
Yeah.
Good storytelling.
I just wrote down Shawshanking. Whoops. Take that off.
Shawshanking.
Shawshank.
All right, Scott, back to you.
Okay, my final pick. I think this movie's kind of under the radar.
It's another airplane movie.
It's it's in my top 10 for sure, and it's one of those movies. Didn't quite leave me with chills, but it did evoke some. I have not cried in hardly any movies, but this movie at the end of it made me cry.
Marley and Me. Is
I'll
that what you're
admit
going
that. No, the movie is Captain Phillips. Have you guys seen Captain Phillips?
with? Of course.
Oh, that's I'm the captain now, right?
Yeah.
I'm the captain now.
That is a good movie.
So it's like I didn't know what to expect going into watching that movie. I think somebody was like, yeah, it's a good movie. You should go see it. And then I watched it and I was like, that was an incredible movie.
Yeah.
And then Tom Hanks is just such a good actor. And then, yeah, dude, that scene at the end of the movie where they like take him off of the boat and they're like medically checking him out. I lost it, man. I was like, holy cow.
Really? Yeah.
Dude just went through some trauma.
Oh yeah. That acting is so good right there. Yeah. You feel it. Like you
So
feel like
good.
he's traumatized. Yeah.
When they're laying him down, he's like, okay.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Oh, that gives me chills thinking about that part. You're right. That is so emotional. Yeah.
That makes me want to watch it.
Such a good scene.
I've only watched it once, and it was on an airplane to a Caribbean flight. And I was like, is this the best time to watch this? But yeah.
Jake's like, I only saw it once, and it was my connecting flight in Somalia. So
it's also great. Like you have some patriotic picks, Scott. Like, Top Gun and then Sandlot and now Dumb and Dumber too. But then,
Scott, the patriotic route does not work. Okay. It doesn't work. I tried it last week.
But it was like, yeah, America's awesome.
Like a lot of anti-Americans voting. Okay.
Like they take out the bad guys, execute, boom.
Yeah. Like United 93.
Yeah, that scene too.
Yeah.
Execute.
So
man.
that is
so good.
Do you think of Alcides Escobar whenever you think of I'm the Captain Now guy?
Yes, he does look like
100%.
him. Yeah.
100%.
That's a niche niche joke for all the Royals fans out there, Kansas City. But yeah, anyway, that's a good pick,
niche,
Scotty.
But so spot on.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right. My last pick is not the most popular movie, like a lot of these, but I do think it's one of the best movies I've ever seen. So, and for that reason, everyone should watch this movie, and it's Get Out.
Oh,
I think
really?
I talked about it on the podcast when I just watched it.
Yeah.
Oh, because I'd watched that right before I watched Top Gun, and I was Top Gun is like predictable at times. At the end of the day, it's an action movie. Get Out was so unique. It was so original. Every 5 minutes, I was yelling at Rachel, "What is going on?" I would yell, "What kind of movie?"
You broke up for a second.
Oh, the movie Get Out.
Oh, I haven't. I have that recorded to watch it. I've been dying to watch that.
Yeah, Jordan Peele's like directorial debut. Maybe he wrote it too. I don't know, but yeah, I think he did write it. But yeah, I would just be yelling at Rachel. I was like, "What kind of movie do you have me watching? This is crazy."
Had she seen it before?
Yeah, she loved it. She's seen it a bunch, and she was like, "You have to watch this." And one of the only movies we watched together. But yeah, it really is so good and just so unique and original. It's like everyone needs to watch this. It's so entertaining and Just a psychological thriller. So
Oh,
fun.
Wow. Okay.
Great
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
Is
Been
this-
meaning
is
to
it-
watch that. I had it recorded.
Like scale of thriller to horror. Where are we at? We'll say 5 is the middle.
I'm trying to think. I mean,
Because I don't like horror movies, but I like thrillers just fine.
yeah, I would say, I don't know what IMDb would categorize it as, but for my own thoughts, like a psychological thriller is probably a great example of it. Like not a ton of action thrill, like not like,
Yeah.
what would be like a thriller with a lot of action, like Nightcrawler or something like that, where there's a ton of action. But this is a lot of like mental thrill, a lot of like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Who can I trust here? Who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy?
Is it very gory?
No, not that I remember.
Okay. Cool.
Fun.
Fun.
Watch it with Hattie. I'm just kidding. I probably don't do that. But there you have it. There's the s'mores this week.
Great. You got some honorable mentions?
Very nice.
Oh yeah, sure.
Let me recap the s'mores real quick. So Brad says Dark Knight, Home Alone, Lion King, Shawshank. Jake says Forrest Gump, Remember the Titans, Good Will Hunting, Get Out. Scott says Top Gun Maverick, Dumb and Dumber. Dumb and Dumberer? Is that what you said, Scott?
The second installment.
No, absolutely not.
Top Gun Maverick, Dumb and Dumber, Sandlot, Captain Phillips. Honorable mentions.
Cool.
Can I? You guys mind if I do my honorable mentions? So I
Get
can go
out of
back
here.
to
Oh,
those
yeah.
accounts?
Go,
You need to
go.
get out.
I need to get out. yeah.
Or yes or nope.
Okay, just real quick, Brad, you said it kind of at the beginning. There's some movies on my list that, yeah, I would recommend a certain age watch.
Yes. Yeah.
And this one, I absolutely insist that you watch the edited version. I haven't even tried to watch the unedited version, but The Wolf of Wall Street is a really, really, really good movie. Just please, for the love, watch it edited.
Yeah.
That's a good pick, Scott.
Phenomenal acting in that movie. Like,
yeah.
I gained a whole new appreciation for Leonardo DiCaprio in that after watching that movie.
Yeah, and direction too. I feel like, is it Scorsese? Yeah.
Him and I didn't really know much about Margot Robbie for that movie. And I was like, this girl's great. Not too great.
Yeah.
As far as blondes.
It's one of my favorite movies. I just didn't necessarily want to put it as my schmore because of how awful it is.
It is like,
if you like Quaaludes.
it is like, wait till you're married with 3 kids before you watch that one. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's a big he's a big family man.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I had that. I had Space Jam. I had Rush Hour 2.
Oh my gosh, these are bad.
3 Amigos.
I had 3 Amigos. I had Liar Liar.
These are just Scott's favorite movies.
Yeah, basically. I had War Dogs. And then my last one is kind of an unknown movie, but really, really, really good movie. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's called Baby Driver.
I've heard of that.
Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah, it's a really, really cool movie. Speaking of soundtracks, the whole movie basically has music on the entire time, and like everything that happens in the movie is synced to the beat of whatever song is on.
Oh, interesting.
So like it's a driving movie, driving and shooting. So like if a guy's shooting a rifle, it's like to the beat of the song, or if they're, it's fun. It's a really, really cool, unique movie. That I don't know that a lot of people have seen. So I would highly recommend that.
Yeah, I feel like it's like not a cult classic, but yeah, like a lot of people like it if you've seen it. I've heard about it, but never seen it.
It's got some big names in it too. It's got Kevin Spacey, John Hamm, Jamie Foxx, and then the main character is Ansel Elgort. Maybe he's a little Dutch boy.
Fault in Our Stars or whatever.
Yeah,
cool.
Something like that. But anyways, that's what I have for honorable mention.
Awesome. Thanks for joining. Thanks for giving us 36 minutes of your workday today.
Hey, yeah, I'll just have a 24-minute lunch. Corporate America's got to keep me honest.
Come on, baby. That's right. All right, Scotty. Thanks,
Come on.
man.
JK, I'm going to eat an hour lunch and do a workout after.
Good. We got a big tournament tomorrow night.
Get swole, baby.
I'll see you tomorrow night.
All right, sounds good. Let's rock.
Let's rock today. See ya.
School of Rock. There's another honorable mention.
Good one. That's a good one. Cool, Scotty. All right. See you, buddy.
You guys have a great day.
You Peace. Too. My honorable mentions, I had Up, just a classic, beautiful
Okay.
story. Especially I feel like once you're married, that opening scene is so much more beautiful. So just wait. Whiplash, talked about it for a long time. So good. The Goonies, Big, another great Tom Hanks movie. It's a Wonderful Life. Hadn't seen that until a couple years ago. And that was, I don't cry in movies very often. And I did cry in that movie.
Okay.
Die Hard, another one that I hadn't seen till like 2 years ago. So good. Lives up to all the hype that everyone ever says about it. Toy Story.
There we go. I was going to say, how are none of my honorable mentions being taken?
Yeah.
Toy Story.
Hitch is one that I have irrational love for. I think
Okay.
Hitch is so fun, and I'm a hopeless romantic to an extent, so I think it's a fun movie for that. And then, as we were talking and saying Leonardo DiCaprio, I thought of Inception as well. So another one that that was one of those ones, like watching the very end of the movie with the top spinning and then it goes to credits. It's just blows my mind kind of thing.
It's fun.
So you got any?
Yeah. So The Notebook would be my submission for the rom-com area. I think it's not your typical rom-com necessarily. It's not super predictable. There's so some twists and turns, and it's a great movie. Cried the first time I watched it. When you have the Alzheimer's aspect of the movie, kind of like Sandlot. It's not just this age they're in.
Right.
It's actually you're revisiting the past. So that aspect of The Notebook is so good. I'm seeing them when they're old. Also had Toy Story. Never seen Notebook, huh?
Mm-mm.
That's all right.
Not that hopeless of a romantic, apparently.
And then Interstellar. I think that's even better than Inception.
Yeah,
as far as like Christopher Nolan movies
I know you
go.
love that one.
And then one other Christopher Nolan movie is Memento. I've talked about that one before. So such brilliant storytelling. I've talked about it. The timeline switches. You go from like beginning to end of the story. The beginning of the story is the end of the movie. Well done. Everyone needs to watch at least some sort of movie like that. Where
You love like the very like well written, like put together.
It's just something different. I don't want to feel like I know what's going to happen. If it's going to be a movie you need to see, then it's like, I don't want to know what's going to happen.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Well, it's good s'mores. Vote on our Facebook group. Thank you guys very much for just your continued participation in that. If you have any ideas for subjects, feel free to let us know in the comments for the Facebook group.
Yeah. Let us know. Holler at us. Let's wrap this up. I got to go to work now. Trey's been out of town the last 3 days, but he's finally back. So we got to go do that.
Yeah.
Brad, what is your review of the week?
Let me pull it up real fast.
I will say mine.
Great. It's probably the only one available.
When I get on my feet in the morning, I think that's a little jab at me because they don't sit down. It's to the sound of Scott giggling to Jake explaining that his sacred experience with the bidet. But don't worry, Rachel wasn't there. It's really just an Aquarius thing. They never have any questions. Here comes another delivery story from Brad, whether it's a table or a baby. What does that sentence mean?
This is your favorite review? Because it's the only review that I think we haven't read yet.
It was at the top of the list. I liked the first sentence, so I was like, oh, this is going to be a good review. And now there's a lot of sentence fragments. I don't even understand this review here. Okay, I'm just gonna read it as it is. I was gonna try to like butter it up and make it sound better than it is, but whatever. Here comes another delivery story from Brad, whether it's a table or a baby. But just so you know, it's Brad's pod/talk show. Don't forget s'mores. They're tasty and a segment in Jake's eyes. Is that Jake's dad on the news or Brad's dad guessing collages? Yep. So tune in on Monday mornings with Jake and Brad and sometimes Scott at the end. Was that supposed to be a song?
Yes. It was a Space Jam song. So do it again.
Here comes another delivery story from Brad, whether it's a table or a baby. Yeah. Oh, that makes way more sense. Never mind. Now I get
Nailed it. My review of the week is going to be, we didn't have that many options for review of the week this week. So I'm going to go with the YouTube comment of the week. Just a quick, easy hitter from Isabel Martinez that just says, Bo is quite literally the coolest toddler. Best personality ever. Couldn't agree more. My sister, thank you for the kind words about my son. I am very proud of my family and always appreciate kind words for them. So
I've been loving you impersonating Bo recently. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, he's the man. He's so fun. Got another night by myself I actually had a really hard time the other night with just, Catherine was gone to a Bible study and I put all three of the kids to bed by myself and I was trying to read them a book while trying to feed Rosie not like that.
Okay.
And I mean, she was screaming. The other kids were like laughing, but at the same time, it was still stressing me out. We did. Oh, you saw it on the Patreon if you're a member, but we did something called Ultimate S'mores this week.
Yeah.
We had been collecting sticks for a few days, like during the weekend at our friends' houses, at your house and then Gunner's house, to make like a bonfire with s'mores. And anyway, it was supposed to be awesome. And it was not. It was fine. It was one of those things. It was like, this is such a good idea. But then when it came time to actually execute, it was like time for me to wake Rosie up from her nap. And Hattie was too cold, so she went inside. And then I made the fire way too big. And so I was like worried that Bo was going to like get his face burned off. So I was like, Bo, get back. He's like, but I want to help you with the s'mores. I was like, get back.
Yeah.
So then I kind of yelled at him and he kind of cried. And Catherine, this is a good parenting advice. She said,
Don't have 3 kids.
yeah. She's like, it's not just the experience, it's the attitude that you have with the experience.
Yeah, that's probably.
And I was like, yeah, you're right. That's 100%. And I think sometimes like in that instance, I think I focus more on the experience than the attitude. Really, I just need to have a good attitude about, eating dinner, and that can make it so much fun for the
If
kids.
the attitude's
what I mean?
great, anything could be a good experience.
Right. Which is usually my personality is like, let's just be fun in everyday life.
Yeah.
But this time I was like, I want to do a really fun thing.
It revolves around the
Ultimate
fire.
s'mores. It's going to be amazing. We like went to the like store earlier that day and like they chose gummy bears to put in their s'mores. They thought that was awesome. And it was like, yeah, but if your dad has a bad attitude the whole time, which I didn't have, I'm being extreme, but you know what I mean? So have a good attitude. Attitudes are over experiences, guys.
Attitude reflect leadership, Captain.
Oh, wow. What a show.
Brought it back. We're going to do an old jingle this week. Yeah?
Yes, we
A
are.
little TBT.
TBT. You know what it is.
And
One
there
of
it
our
was.
favorites.
What'd you guys think?
You guys have a great week. Buy some merch.
Fill out that survey to go on
Fill out the survey.
a trip with us. A link is below. And join the Facebook group if you're not yet. Just thank you guys. Thanks for listening. We love this community. Love all you guys. Thanks for listening to our podcast.
Hey, let's have a week, guys. Let's have a week, Jake.
Let's do something special this week.
Let's do it, baby. Love you guys. See you next week.
Peace.
Ghostrunners podcast. Everybody.